Hello, everyone. I hope and I believe you all are doing great. Good evening, guys. How's your FMG preparation going? So, today we will be having the anesthesia session, and anesthesia session will be of 1 hour only. Okay. Now, starting with the anesthesia session, these are the most repeated topics like you have CPR, pen index system, spinal anesthesia, capnography, cannula color codings, muscle relaxants, Mapleson circuit, inhalational agents, and vaporizer. Okay, yeah, these are the most repeated topics that you have in your anesthesia. Just one request to everyone that don't run after the PDFs. Take one page and write down the things that you are not able to recall. Okay. This anesthesia session will be of 1 hour only, and we will cover the almost the high yield topics only. Okay. Let's start the session. First thing that you have is history of anesthesia. Now, in the history of anesthesia, you have the first period, that is your ancient period. Now, in ancient period, the first method is primitive method. In primitive method, we use alcohol, opium, and cold compressions. In the Indian method, we use wine and hemp. Okay. Then you have the China one. In that, you have the cannabis as well as the wine. The cannabis as well as the wine. Then you have the inhalational anesthesia. In inhalational anesthesia, you have the nitrous oxide, that is also called as the laughing gas. It was given by Joseph Priestley. Now, then you have ether. It is also called as the sweet vitriol. Ether Day is observed on 16th of October, and 16th of October is also celebrated as the World Anesthesia Day. So remember this, ye yaad rakhna. Then you have chloroform. Chloroform was introduced by James Young and it was used during the childbirth. These are some of the key contributors. We don't need to go in details, just one thing that I want to know. John Snow is the father of modern anesthesia, and James Simpson is introduced the chloroform. Okay. So these are the PYQs that you have. We will be solving the PYQs simultaneously also. Okay. Who performed the first public demonstration of ether anesthesia? This PYQ was asked in 2019 and 2021. So give me the answer. Who performed the first public demonstration of ether anesthesia? It was ether anesthesia was given by C. That is Morton. Very good, guys. So it was given by William T.G. Morton. Now, next question. Next question is that chloroform was introduced as an anesthetic agent by. It was introduced as an anesthetic agent by C. Priestley. Okay, so it was introduced as an anesthetic agent by Priestley. Now, the next thing you have in anesthesia is the pre-anesthetic checkup. Now, why this pre-anesthetic checkup is used? इसका हम use क्यों करते हैं? It is used to check the journal fitness, to identify any comorbid conditions, कोई और other disease तो नहीं है इंसान को, and for appropriate anesthetic drugs. ठीक है, जो भी सही चीजें हम पेशेंट को दे रहे हैं या नहीं, उसके लिए भी हम इसे यूज करते हैं. सो दिस इज जर्नल फिजिकल एग्जामिनेशन. यू डोंट नीड टू गो इन टू डिटेल ऑफ दिस. द डिटेल्स दैट यू नीड टू नो इज द एयरवे असेसमेंट of airway assessment. Now in the airway assessment, the first one is mouth opening. Normal कितना होता है? Normal mouth opening is more than 4 centimeter. How you have to check? Look at this figure. This is how the mouth opening is checked. This is how the mouth opening is checked. Now, the limited openings are seen in TMJ arthritis, in trauma, and in ankylosis. Okay, and in ankylosis. Then, next that you have is Malampatti classification. Then you have is the Malampatti classification. Now, in the Malampatti classification, you have the 4 classes. You have the 4 classes. Before that, I want you to know the rule of 5. There is something called as a rule of 5. Now, what is rule of 5 states? Rule of 5 states that if we add 1 plus 4, how many we will get? We will get 5. So, the thing is that the sum total of each and every class should be 5. In class 1, how many structures are visible? In class 1, 4 structures are visible. In class 2, 2 plus 3 is 5. So in class 2, you have 3 structures. In class 3, 3 plus 2 is also 5. So you have two structures that are seen in class 3. And in class 4, you have only one structure. 4 plus 1 is 5, right? Next. So in class 1, you also have the mnemonic of push. That is, what are the structures seen? Pillars, uvula, soft palate and hard palate. Remember the mnemonic of push. Okay. So in class 1, you have all the push structures. All the push structures are visible. What are the push structures? Pillars, uvula, soft palate and hard palate. In class 2, you have USH, ush. Then SH. And in class 4, what do you have? In class 4, only the hard palate is visible. Only the hard palate is visible. Okay. Next you have is something called as the thyromental distance. Now, what is thyromental distance? The name is only suggesting that it is the distance between the thyroid notch and the mentum. What is the normal distance? The normal distance is more than 6.5 centimeter. And if it is less than 6 centimeters, this indicates that the person will have difficulty in intubation. This indicates that we will be having a difficulty in intubation. Next you have is the sternomental distance. Now sternomental distance means the distance from sternal notch to the mentum. What is the normal distance? It is more than 12.5 centimeter. And if it is less than 12 centimeter, this indicates it is difficult in the laryngoscope. Next thing, guys, that you need to know is what are the difficult airway prediction. So remember it with the mnemonic of lemon. Okay, remember it with the mnemonic of lemon. What is L? L means look at externally. If the person is having any facial trauma or not, you have to look for that. Then you have to evaluate. Now, what you have to follow in the evaluation? You have to follow 3, 3 and 2 rule. Now, what is 3? Mouth opening should be 3 fingers. Mentum distance should be 3. And hyoid, thyroid should be 2. Okay, the distance between hyoid and thyroid should be 2. Then for M, you have to check for the Mallampatti score. You have to check for the Mallampatti score. For O, you have to check for any obstruction. For N, you have to check the neck mobility. Now guys, coming on to the PYQs. The first PYQ, during the pre-anesthetic airway assessment, the patient mouth opening is 2 centimeter and the thyromental distance is 5 centimeter. So answer me, is it a easy intubation, difficult intubation, and is it a normal intubation? Okay. So the answer of it is a difficult intubation. This is a difficult intubation. This was asked in FMGE 2023. Next, coming on to the next question. In modified Mallampatti classification, soft palate is visible in. Now, soft palate is visible in first and the second one also and the third one also. It is not visible in the fourth one, right? It is not visible in the fourth one, right? So, it is only visible in the third one. Like, not only visible, but they are asking that SH wala is visible in what? So, it is visible in grade 3. It is visible in grade 3, right? Chalo, this much is clear, guys. Mallampatti classification, the mnemonic of push plus the rule of 5. 1 plus 2 is 5. 1 plus 4 is 5. 2 plus 3 is 5. 3 plus 2 is 5 and 4 plus 1 is 5. This much is clear, guys. Chalo. So we will move on to the next thing. That is pre-anesthetic orders. Now in the pre-anesthetic orders, the first thing that you need to know is NPO. What is NPO? NPO means nil per oral. Okay, nil per oral. Now here you need to remember the table of 2. We all know the table of 2. 2 की table में क्या क्या आता है? 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4. Then you have the 6, then 8. So remember, 2 is for clear liquid. Till 2 hours, clear liquid. Then 4 hours is for breast milk. 4 hours is for breast milk. Then 6 hours is for the light meal. and 8 is for the heavy. So remember, जितना heavy खाना होगा उतना ही जल्दी हमें उसे stop करना होगा, right? Next, coming on to the routine drugs. Now, these questions can be asked in your exams, that they can give you any drug and they can ask you whether you have to continue that drug or you have to stop that drug, right? So, first, let's understand what are the drugs that we need to continue. So, antihypertensives, we can continue. Calcium channel blockers, we can continue. What are the next? Anti-epileptics, we can continue. Steroids, we can continue. And the thyroid hormone tablets, we can continue. Antidepressants, we can continue. And bronchodilators, we can continue. So these are the things that we can continue, right? Next, ACE inhibitors, you have to stop on the day of the surgery. Diuretics, you have to stop on surgery day. Insulin, you can give half dose in the morning. Then you have oral hypoglycemic agents, you have to stop before the surgery, right? You have to stop them before the surgery. Next, heparin, you have to stop 12 to 24 hours before. Oral contraceptive, you have to stop 4 weeks before. You have to stop the oral contraceptives 4 weeks before. I hope I made this much very clear to you, right? Should we move on? Next topic that you need to know is the preoperative drugs. Preoperative drugs. Okay, guys. See, anesthesia is a very small subjects, so we don't need to give that much importance to anesthesia, right? The first thing in the pre-op drugs that you have is first one, anxiolytics. Anxiolytics. Which anxiolytic we can give? That which drug decreases the secretion? Which drug decreases the secretion? Third thing that you have to tell me is the best antibiotic for surgical prophylaxis. For surgical prophylaxis. Okay, anxiolytics that you can give is midazolam. Okay, midazolam. Midazolam, what it does? It calm down your mind. It calm down your mind. Next, which drug will decrease the secretion? So for decreasing the secretion, what we have to give? We have to give anticholinergics. Anticholinergics, right? Like glycopyrrolate. Glycopyrrolate. Next that you have is best antibiotic for surgical prophylaxis. Best antibiotic for surgical prophylaxis is, so the best antibiotic, remember, is cefazolin. Cefazolin. So remember it as ZO. So means zero infection. It is zero infection. For post-operative nausea and vomiting, what do we give? For post-operative nausea and vomiting, what do we give? We give what? So O. O means we give ondansetron. And ondansetron is 5-HT3 antagonist. Right. Have I made this much clear to you? Right. Next, PYQs. First PYQ is metformin should be stopped by how much? 12 hours before the surgery, 24 hours before the surgery, morning of the surgery, 48 hours before the surgery. And the next question, warfarin should be stopped 1 day before surgery, 2 day before surgery, 5 day before surgery, or you can continue. First one is on the morning of surgery. Now, next question, warfarin should be stopped 1 day before, 2 day before, 5 day before, or you can continue warfarin 5 days before. 5 days before we should stop warfarin. Next, Anti-epileptic drug should be given only in post-op, withheld 12 hours before, discontinued 24 hours before the surgery, or you can continue till the morning. Anti-epileptic drugs. D. The answer of this is D. We should not stop the anti-epileptic drug, right? Now, coming on to a very, very important topic, that is the topic of Mapleson circuit. From Mapleson circuit, you will be getting one question. From Mapleson circuit, you will be getting one question. So, try to remember it with the help of lots and lots of mnemonic. Now, here what you are able to see. Here we are able to see the patient. Then you have APL and here FG. What does FG means? FG means the fresh gas. FG means the fresh gas. Now, in type A, it is adjacent pressure valve is there. Okay, at patient's end. This is the patient's end and here you are able to see the APL. This is the patient end. Here you are able to see the APL. Guys, focus on this Mapleson circuit very, very importantly because it is an important question and you will get 1 to 2 questions from Mapleson circuit. Okay, so A for A. This valve is adjacent to the patient. Now, in the B, what you need to remember that both APL and FG, that is fresh gas flow, both are at the patient's end. Both are there at the patient's end. So remember B for B. Both are there at the patient's end only. Then you have the type C. In type C, what you are able to see that the corrugation, what is corrugation? The zigzag pattern that you are able to see. This zigzag pattern that you are able to see is corrugation, right? So corrugation is absent in type C. टाइप सी वाले में जो कॉरुगेशन है वो एब्सेंट रहेगा. नेक्स्ट इज टाइप डी. सो डी इज डिस्टल एपीएल. ओके, एपीएल जो है दैट विल बी डिस्टल टू द पेशेंट. इट विल बी डिस्टल टू द पेशेंट. ई. टाइप ई मीन्स एंड. End means what? The reservoir bag that was there, now it is eliminated. The reservoir bag is eliminated, right? Then you have the F. F means free from APL. You are not able to see any sort of APL. So APL is absent, right? We are just one more time. A means APL, that is adjacent to the patient end. B means both APL and fresh gas is near the patient end. C means corrugation is absent. D means it is you are having the distal APL. E means end. What is ending? The reservoir bag is ending. You are not able to see any of the reservoir bag. F means free from the APL. It is free from the APL, right? Next, guys, what are the examples that you have? The Magel and the Lack circuit. So remember, Lack has A in it. So it is the classification is type A. Then you have the next one that you need to remember is Bain. So remember, Bain is type D. You can remember it with brain is dominant. Brain is dominant in whom? In adults. So in adults, the brain is dominant. In adults, the brain is dominant. Then you have the Ayers-T piece. Ayers-T piece. So remember, Ayers has E in its spelling. E means type E. E means type E, right? Then you have the Jackson-Rees. So remember, jackfruit, right? Jackfruit खाया होगा तुम लोगों ने, right? Remember it with the help of jackfruit. Jackfruit matlab Jackson is type F. Now Mapleson circuit is semi-closed circuit and you are having the reservoir is present. Which circuit is used in adults? So remember, adults, we know the spelling, that is A and D. So type A and type D is used in the adults. Used in the infants as F in it. So E and F are used for the infants. E and F are used for the infants, right? Next, guys, one PYQ that was asked in 2021. One PYQ that was asked in 2021. जल्दी जल्दी सॉल्व करो। जैक्सन रीस कौन से टाइप का है सर्किट? जैक्सन रीस किस टाइप का है? टाइप एफ, बिकॉज जैक फ्रूट, राइट? रिमेंबर द निमोनिक जैक फ्रूट। ओके गाइस, वी आर डन विद द मेपलसन सर्किट। मेपलसन सर्किट से एक ना एक क्वेश्चन जरूर आएगा, इसको गलत मत करना। ओके चलो, next moving on to the cylinders. Okay, we are moving on to the next topic, that is the cylinder. Okay, cylinder में क्या आता है? Mainly color coding. चलो कलर कोडिंग पे आ जाओ। वाइट शोल्डर्स किस किस के होते हैं? वाइट शोल्डर्स आर मेनली सीन इन ऑक्सीजन, एयर एंड एंटोनॉक्स। सो रिमेंबर, व्हाइट शोल्डर्स मतलब ये वाला जो पोर्शन रहेगा, अगर ये तुम्हारा सिलेंडर है तो अगर ये वाला जो पोर्शन रहेगा, द शोल्डर पोर्शन, ये व्हाइट रहेगा। अब ये व्हाइट किस किस में दिखता है? ऑक्सीजन में दिखता है, एयर में दिखता है और एंटोनॉक्स में दिखता है। इतनी चीज समझ में आ गई। नेक्स्ट आ जाओ बॉडी के ऊपर। अब बॉडी जो है ऑक्सीजन की कैसी रहेगी? ऑक्सीजन की बॉडी रहेगी ब्लैक। एयर की कैसी रहेगी? सो रिमेंबर एयर को याद रखो ग्रे, ग्रे एयर। ओके, so it will be gray, it will be, air is gray. Next that you have is, what do you have next? Antonox. एंटोनॉक्स की बॉडी कैसी रहेगी? सो रिमेंबर, एंटोनॉक्स मीन्स एन से क्या? नीला। एन से रिमेंबर नीला, एंड नीला इज विच कलर? नीला इज ब्लू कलर, नीला इज ब्लू कलर। सो एंटोनॉक्स इज, बॉडी क्या है एंटोनॉक्स की? इट इज ब्लू। एंटोनॉक्स बॉडी इज ब्लू इन कलर, राइट? नेक्स्ट आ जाओ कुछ सिमिलर जिनकी शोल्डर्स भी सेम कलर के हैं, बॉडी भी सेम कलर की है, बोथ आर सेम। सो रिमेंबर, फर्स्ट थिंग यू हैव नाइट्रस ऑक्साइड, ब्लू एंड ब्लू। सो नाइट्रस ऑक्साइड, वी नो द निमोनिक नीला, एन से नीला, नीला इज ब्लू। सो एवरीथिंग इज ब्लू ब्लू, everything is blue blue. Okay, next you have carbon dioxide. So remember, C and G goes together. So carbon dioxide body is also gray and the shoulders are also gray. Then you have the nitrogen. In nitrogen, what you need to remember? Nitrogen is black and black. Nitrogen is black and black. That helium is what color? ठीक है, हाँ एयर ब्लैक तो होती है, बताया तो। एयर की जो, एयर ब्लैक नहीं होती, ऑक्सीजन ब्लैक होता है, एयर जो होता है वो ग्रे होता है। एयर ग्रे होता है, ग्रे और ब्लैक में कंफ्यूजन मत करो। हाँ, हीलियम जो होता है ब्राउन होता है। सो यू कैन रिमेंबर इट, ही इज मिस्टर ब्राउन, ही इज मिस्टर ब्राउन, राइट? मिस्टर बीस्ट कौन था? ही इज मिस्टर ब्राउन, राइट? चलो नेक्स्ट आ जाओ। नेक्स्ट क्या बच गया अपना बच गया साइक्लोप्रोपापेन। सो रिमेंबर, साइक्लो, साइकिल जैसा, ओ ऑरेंज कैसा है? ओ कलर का है। सो ओ इज ऑरेंज, ठीक है? नेक्स्ट आ जाओ पिन इंडेक्स के ऊपर। पिन इंडेक्स में क्या याद रखना है बच्चों? मेनली जो पिन इंडेक्स है उसमें दो चीजें याद रखनी है, या तो 5 वाला होगा, या तो 5 वाला होगा, या तो 6 वाला होगा। 5 वाला होगा या 6 वाला होगा? क्या 5 वाला, क्या 6 वाला? 5 में आ जाओ 1 2 3, 6 में आ जाओ 1 2 3, ठीक है? 1 में क्या है? 5 1 में, सो 1 इज फॉर एयर। सो रिमेंबर, एयर जो है, ए इज अल्फाबेट नंबर 1, ए इज अल्फाबेट नंबर 1। सो एयर का क्या हो गया पिन इंडेक्स? 1 एंड 5। एयर का पिन इंडेक्स क्या हो गया? 1 एंड 5। 5 और 2 किसका हो गया? 5 और 2 हो गया ऑक्सीजन का। सो रिमेंबर, ऑक्सीजन में क्या आ रहा है? 2, O2 होता है, तो 5 और 2 इज फॉर ऑक्सीजन, 5 एंड 2 इज फॉर ऑक्सीजन। थर्ड वाला आ जाओ, थर्ड इज N2O, N2O के लिए। सो O में एक और ऐड कर दो, 1 और ऐड कर दो, सो 1 + 2 इज 3। सो 5 और 2 किसका हो गया? 5 और 2, सॉरी 3 और 5 किसका हो गया? 3 और 5 हो गया अपना N2O का। चलो अब आ जाओ 6 वाले पे। 6 में क्या याद रखना है? 6 से याद रखो, 6 की स्पेलिंग हमने गलत याद कर ली, ठीक है, हम स्कूल नहीं गए थे, 6 की स्पेलिंग हमने गलत याद कर ली। सो वी रिमेंबर कि 6 की स्पेलिंग है CIX, तो C वाले जो लेटर्स होंगे वो आएंगे अपने 6th वाले में। सो 6 1 इज फॉर 1 6 इज फॉर CO2, 2 6 is also for CO2, 3 6 is for cyclopropane, it is for cyclopropane. Now अब इतना अपन ने देख लिया कि ये सब तो सिमिलर चल रहे थे, एक बंदा मुझे दिख रहा है जो अलग चल रहा है, राइट? सो इट इज एंटोनॉक्स। अब एंटोनॉक्स का क्या है? एंटोनॉक्स का है सिंगल पिन इंडेक्स। एंटोनॉक्स को कैसे याद रखोगे? एंटोनॉक्स की स्पेलिंग देखो, स्पेलिंग आनी चाहिए, ठीक है। निमोनिक का फर्स्ट रूल ये है कि स्पेलिंग आनी चाहिए। एंटोनॉक्स की स्पेलिंग क्या होती है? ENTONOX। कितने लेटर्स आ रहे हैं? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7। तो पेन इंडेक्स कितना हो गया इसका? पेन इंडेक्स इसका हो गया 7। पेन इंडेक्स कितना हो गया इसका? 7, ठीक है। ये है मेन, यहाँ पर जो है पेन इंडेक्स हमें देखने को मिलते हैं। सिंगल वाला होता है एंटोनॉक्स का, सिंगल वाला होता है एंटोनॉक्स का। चलो अब आ जाओ जल्दी से, पेन इंडेक्स ऑफ ऑक्सीजन बताओ मेरे को। ऑक्सीजन का पेन इंडेक्स कितना होता है? FMG 2019 का क्वेश्चन। ऑक्सीजन का पेन इंडेक्स होता है 52, नहीं 2 और 5 है ना, 2 और 5 होता है, ठीक है, 2 एंड 5 होता है। चलो नेक्स्ट थिंग जो मुझे तुम्हें बतानी थी, दैट इज अबाउट एक और चीज, डायमीटर इंडेक्स सेफ्टी सिस्टम। ओके, डायमीटर इंडेक्स सेफ्टी सिस्टम, that is DISS, diameter index safety system। ये किस लिए हम यूज करते हैं? it is for the pipeline, it is for the pipeline, okay, so DISS is for the pipeline। अब पाइपलाइन किसके लिए? पाइपलाइन के कलर के लिए, ठीक है, कलर कोडिंग करने के लिए, पाइपलाइन की कलर कोडिंग करने के लिए। पहला आ जाओ, नाइट्रस ऑक्साइड। नाइट्रस ऑक्साइड का कितना होगा? नाइट्रस ऑक्साइड की पाइप का कौन सा कलर होगा? नेक्स्ट बताओ मुझे, वैक्यूम का कौन सा होगा? देन अबाउट एयर एंड ऑक्सीजन, ठीक है, अबाउट एयर नाइट्रस ऑक्साइड, वी नो दैट नाइट्रस ऑक्साइड इज नीला नीला, सो नीला नीला इज ब्लू, नीला नीला इज ब्लू, तो ब्लू होगा उसका, ओके। Yeah, I'm teaching in both the languages, Hindi as well as in English, okay. Next, vacuum। vacuum का V जो है, in vacuum when you write V, just try to draw one more line, so it will become like yellow, it will become like yellow, okay। And yellow yellow dirty fellow we have read in our PSM, biomedical waste management। yellow yellow dirty fellow means all the human anatomical waste goes into the yellow bin, right? Remember from the PSM session, I hope you have solved all the numericals of PSM, सारी न्यूमेरिकल सॉल्व कर लिए होंगे PSM के। चलो नेक्स्ट वाला आ जाओ, एयर। एयर 1 is for, so air is black, air is black, AB, remember the mnemonic of A and B। oxygen, remember it as wow, remember it as wow, so what is wow? Wow is white, so beautiful, so elegant, just looking like a wow, and wow is oxygen, wow is oxygen, right? This was all about the pen index. Moving on to the capnography. From capnography, the question that you will get is to identify the type of capnograph that is there. This one is normal. Now, in the capnography, when you are able to see a shark fin, when you are able to see a shark fin, this represent we are dealing with the case of COPD or asthma. We are dealing with the case of COPD or asthma, okay. Next, this one, when you are able to see a little gap, and this one is small, this one is big, so it represents hypoventilation, it represents hypoventilation। Now this pattern that you are able to see, it is increasing then decreasing, but it is not stopping, it is moving continuously. This pattern is of hyperventilation. This one is for hyperventilation. Remember just two patterns very clearly. In bronchospasm, you are able to see a sharp fin. You are able to see a sharp fin. Next is curare cleft. Next is curare cleft. So in the curare cleft, what you are able to see, that there is a spontaneous breathing. This curare cleft that you are able to see. And since we are talking about the curare cleft, tell me, in the ENT you have read, right, in your hearing test, that 2000 dip and 4000 dip. 4000 notch is called as and 2000 notch is called as. And 2000 is used for autosclerosis or 4000 is used for autosclerosis. Integrated learning. Right. So this one is your curare cleft. This one is your curare cleft. Next, this was the PYQ, that curare cleft. What does it indicate? It was asked in FMG 2020 and 2022. 2000 dip, that is also called as the Cahardt's notch. It is for the autosclerosis, and 4001 is for the noise-induced hearing loss. Now, yeah, tell me, curare cleft, what does it indicate? It was the question asked in FMG 2020 and 2022. Is it hypoventilation, rebreathing, return of muscle activity, or it is bronchospasm? So this one is your hypoventilation. This represents your hypoventilation. It does not represent, it represents your rebreathing. It represents your rebreathing. So remember, curare has R in its spelling. So R means rebreathing. R means rebreathing. Chalo. Moving on to the next topic, that is IV cannula color coding. In the color coding, what they will ask you, they will give you a cannula and they can ask you what is the gauge of the cannula and what is the color of the cannula. So remember, you have sun on the top, then you have the sky. Sun is yellow color. Then you have the sky that is of blue color. Then you have pink flowers, right? Then you have pink flowers. After that, you have the green grass. Then you have the gray soil and the orange. Orange what? Orange is larvas. Okay. So remember, yellow is 24 gauge. Then blue is 22 gauge. Pink is 20 gauge. And pink is normally used. Pink is normally used. Then you have green is 18 gauge. 16 gauge is for the gray one and 14 gauge is for the orange one. Now guys, the flow rate. In the flow rate, remember, orange one has the maximum flow rate. Orange one has the maximum flow rate. Next आ जाओ. ऑरेंज वाला जो है उसकी सबसे ज्यादा फ्लो रेट होती है. देन वॉयलेट वन हैज द minimum flow rate. It has the minimum flow rate. Which cannula is used for the rapid fluid resuscitation? Which cannula is used for the rapid fluid resuscitation? This was asked in FMG 2021 and 2029. And guys, please try to solve all the PYQs properly, right? First, you have to do the FMG PYQ, then INICET and the NEET one, recent one. Which cannula is used for rapid fluid resuscitation? For rapid fluid resuscitation, you have the 14th one, right? You have the 14th. So you have the 14th one. And we are done with the cannula color coding as well. Now, Foley's catheter. So in Foley's catheter, remember a mnemonic Gori from Punjab. Okay. So there is a girl by the name of Gori and she is from Punjab, right? Gori from Punjab. And remember the range 14, 16, 18 and 20. Mainly 2 ka table. So green is for Gori, G is for green, O is for orange, R is for red and yellow is for and Y is for yellow, right? Now you have the diameters. You have the diameters, the outer diameter and the inner diameters. The FR in it represents the diameter. The FR in it represents the diameter, right? The 14th diameter, the 16th diameter, 18th and 20th. 18th and 20th. Okay. Chalo. Next, moving on to the next topic, guys, that you have the Vacutainer color coding. Vacutainer color coding. Now, in the Vacutainer color coding, we have a very beautiful mnemonic. Okay. We have a very beautiful mnemonic. The mnemonic is, the first one is red color. So in a red color, you don't have any anticoagulant. In the red color, you don't have any anticoagulant. So red says stop. Don't add anything. Stop and don't add anything. Okay. So red mein there is no anticoagulant. Then you have the next one. That is the white one. That is for the sodium fluoride. You have glucose. So remember, glucose is like sugar. And sugar is what color? Sugar is white color. Sugar is white color. Okay. Next, you have EDTA. EDTA is used for what? EDTA is used for the hematological examination. EDTA is used for the hematological examination. So remember, it is purple. And everyone loves doing the EDTA. Everyone loves doing the EDTA. Then you have the blue one. So in the blue one, remember the uniform of government school in India. इंडिया में सरकारी स्कूल की जो यूनिफॉर्म्स है इट इज मेनली ऑफ ब्लू कलर राइट सो यू कैन रिमेंबर PT that students are doing PT in blue uniform. PT in blue uniform. Okay. So blue one is for the sodium citrate. That is school. Okay, it is school. Next, heparin. So remember, heparin is hara hara. Hara hara. Hara hara is heparin. Hara hara is heparin. Then you have citrate that is used for the blood culture and EDTA, right? Chalo. Next, moving on to the next, that is ASA classification. ASA classification. In ASA classification, what I need to know? Type 1 is normal and healthy person. Type 6 is brain dead. Type 6 is brain dead. So you can remember how you write B is how you write 6. Okay, so brain dead is 6th. Brain dead is 6th, right? First one is normal person. First one is healthy and normal person. Second one is having a mild systemic disease. The second person is having a mild systemic disease. The third one is having a severe systemic disease. Fourth one is the person that have a severe systemic disease that can be a threat to his or her life. Fifth one is a moribund patient. Fifth one is a moribund patient and sixth one is a brain dead patient. Now, coming on to the question. ASA classification 2 is defined as ASA class 2 को कैसे define करोगे तुम? That we are trying to create the mnemonics also. The answer of this is B. The answer of this is B. So in type 2, it is mild systemic diseases there. Now tell me, ASA class 4, a patient with severe systemic disease that is a constant threat to life. Constant threat to life. Okay. It is class 4th. It is also written over here. So we are doing the PYQs also simultaneously. Now, coming on to the nerve blocks. Now, in the nerve blocks, the first thing that you need to know that in the nerve blocks, you will be, they will ask you the image-based question of it, right? So the first image that you are able to see is a axillary block. And in that, we do the radial, median and the ulnar nerve block. Next, what image you are able to see? This is a nasociliary block. This is a nasociliary block. And nasociliary block is mainly used for what? It is used for the nasal surgery. It is used for the nasal surgery like septoplasty. I know you have read in your ENT, septoplasty is a surgery that is used for what? It is used for what? You have to tell me. Chocolate question. Okay? Chocolate question. chocolate question. Septoplasty is done for what? Then you are having this image. This is the infraclavicular block. You are able to see that we give the block in the cord. Okay. Next. Very good. Very good. It is done for the DNS. That is deviated nasal septum. It is done for the DNS. Next block that you are able to see is supraclavicular block. This one is your supraclavicular block. And this one is your interscalene block. Moving on to the next slide, that is regional anesthesia. Which block that you are able to see? They are giving, it is Beer's block. And in Beer's block, which agent we use? We use lignocaine. We use lignocaine, right? Okay, guys, this much is clear to you. Now, coming on to the lumbar puncture. Okay. Coming on to the lumbar puncture. In lumbar puncture, the first question that they will ask you is the structure pierced. Okay. What are the structures that are pierced? You can arrange them. What is the mnemonic? You can remember it with the mnemonic of SSS Illi Das. SSS Illi Das. So what are the structures? Skin, then subcutaneous tissue, supraspinous ligament, interspinous ligament, ligamentum flavum, epidural space, dura, arachnoid and subarachnoid. SSS Illi Das. Okay. Next, if I ask you in your epidural anesthesia, which is the last structure pierced? Last structure pierced. In epidural anesthesia and in spinal anesthesia. In epidural anesthesia, last structure that is pierced is ligamentum flavum. And in the spinal one, the last structure that is pierced is your arachnoid. Right? Is your arachnoid. Needle used for spinal anesthesia. Which needle do we use for the spinal anesthesia? It is A. Very good. We don't use the Quincke's needle. Now remember, Quincke's is dura cutting and dura splitting is the rest. Dura splitting are the rest, right? So cutting, remember Quincke. So Quincke has C in its spelling. So it is dura cutting. Right? Now guys, moving on to the next slide, that is vaporizer codes. First vaporizer code is hello. So hello is red. You are able to see that hello is red. SIVO. So remember from SIVO, remember the sun. Then desflurane, remember Desi Cricket. Our Desi Cricket team is of blue color. Then you have the enflurane. From enflurane, remember Eno. Eno is orange color. Although it is green and or somewhat other colors also. But remember Eno is orange color. Then you have isoflurane. So from isoflurane, remember Piso. Piso means purple. It is of purple color. Right? So halothane is red in color. Isoflurane is purple in color. Enflurane is orange in color. Sevoflurane is yellow in color. And desflurane, our Desi Cricket team, is blue in color. This much is clear to you guys. So we can move ahead. Next thing that we have is CPR. Okay. CPR. Chalo. In CPR, what is the first thing that you have to check? The first thing is that we have to check is scene safety. Okay. It's not like that you are trying to save someone, but you are putting your life into the danger, right? ऐसा नहीं कि दूसरे को बचाने जा रहे हैं, but हम खुद की जान पे खेल के, right? इतना हीरो नहीं बनना है अपन को. First thing that you have to check is scene safety. then you have to start the CPR. You have to start the CPR. Other things also you have to check, like you have to check the carotid. You have to check whether the person is breathing or not, right? Start the CPR, begin the bag and mask ventilation. Then you have to check the rhythm. Is it shockable or not shockable? If it is not shockable, then it is asystole. You have to give 2 minutes CPR. If it is shockable, then you have to go for the PVT and give the shock and give the CPR again and give the CPR again. Then again you have to check whether the rhythm is shockable or the rhythm is not shockable. Give the CPR and give epinephrine every 3 to 5 minutes. Right. Next, CPR for 2 minutes. Then again check whether the rhythm is shockable or not. If it is shockable, then you can go ahead. Then if it is not shockable, you have to give the cardiac arrest care to the patient properly. You have to give the cardiac care to the patient properly. Okay. Now, these are the high yield points of CPR for adults. These are the high yield points for CPR for adults. First thing, push hard. Kitna? 5 to 6 centimeter depth. Push fast. 100 to 120 per minute should be your frequency. Okay, 100 to 120 minutes should be your frequency. Then allow for complete chest recoil. Okay, then you have to minimize interruption in compression, that is less than 10 seconds. Okay, then you have to rotate compressor every 2 minutes, because 2 मिनट के बाद तो यार तुम भी थक जाओगे ना, तो तुम्हें कोई और चाहिए रहेगा. So you have to have at least 2 people, right? Compression to ventilation ratio, ये बहुत important है. This is very very important guys. Compression to ventilation ratio कितना होगा? It should be 30:1. It should be 30:1. For infants, tell me the ratio for infants guys, fast. Coming on to the PYQ, depth of chest compression in adults कितना होता है? This PYQ was asked in FMG 2021 and 2019. 3:1, very good. Infants में 3:1 होता है. Tell me depth of chest compression in adults. See, 5 to 6 should be the depth of chest compression. 5 to 6 should be the depth of the chest compression, right? AED gives shock for which rhythm? It gives shock for which rhythm? Asystole, PA, ventricular tachycardia, ventricular fibrillation, or bradycardia. So the answer to this is? The answer is C. The answer of this is C. These are some of your important IBQs, image-based questions that can be asked. Now, they mainly ask you to identify the instrument or identify the figure. Identify the instrument or identify the figure. So the first thing that you have is laryngoscopes. In laryngoscopes, you have two types, Miller and McIntosh. How you will identify? So Miller has L in its spelling. L का मतलब straight. So Miller is like a straight line. Miller is like a straight line. McIntosh. So remember in. In का मतलब वो अंदर जा रहा है. In means inside. So it is going a bit inside. So McIntosh is like a round shape. Okay. Next, you have the LMA airways. This one is your first generation. And this one is your second generation. In the first generation, they use the silicon. They use the silicon. And in the second generation, they use silicon plus PVC. Plus PVC. Just remember this much. Coming on to a very, very important topic, oxygen delivery devices. Oxygen delivery devices. Now tell me guys the first one. And tell me in continuation. The first one, second one, third one, fourth one and fifth one. First one is of nasal cannula. First one is nasal cannula. Second one. First one is nasal cannula. Second one. Second one is a face mask. Second one is a face mask. Second one is a face mask. Third one is a high flow nasal cannula. Third one is a high flow nasal cannula. This one, fourth one is a non-rebreathing mask. Okay, non-rebreathing mask. And fifth one is a Venturi mask. Fifth one is a Venturi mask, right? ऐसे ज़्यादा जिसके colors है ना, if it has multiple colors, so this represent it is a Venturi mask. It is a Venturi mask, right? Now guys, in Venturi mask, you have mainly different colors. Different colors, okay? In Venturi mask, you have different colors. Now, the maximum oxygen is by which color? Maximum oxygen is by maximum oxygen delivery is by which color? It is by green color. So remember it with the mnemonic of what? You can remember it with the mnemonic of go. So go means go green. Okay. Go green was a logo also of some brand. I'm not able to recall. Anyway, so go green means this one. Maximum oxygen is by the green color. Next you are having the high flow nasal cannula. Now this high flow nasal cannula, H for H, it is humidifier. What it does, it increases the flow. It increases the flow. The next thing is that you have to know the rate and the maximum FiO2. The rate and the maximum FiO2. So if I ask you about the nasal cannula, then about the regular one, regular mask or the normal mask. Then about the Venturi mask and about the non-rebreathing mask and about the high flow nasal cannula. These are the things that you need to remember. For nasal cannula, the flow rate is 5. Okay, you need to remember the table of 5. 5 ones are 5. 5 twos are 10. Then after that for Venturi it is 15. 5. Then for non-rebreathing it is 15. And for high frequency one it is 60. So remember the table of 5. 5, 10, 15, 60. 5, 10, 15, 60. Now the maximum FiO2 is 40, 60, 60, 85 and 100. So remember, in high, everything is high. In high, everything is high. Right? Next thing guys, how you will differentiate Venturi and NRBM? Because the rate in both of them is same. But the FiO2 in one is 60 and in one is 85. So this way you can differentiate between the two. Right. Now, what is this? This is your NG tube. How we will do the measurement of NG tube? In adults, you have to go for the next method. You have to go for the next method. What is next method? How you will do the measurement from nose, ear till the xiphoid. Nose, ear and xiphoid. So, you have the next method. Then, for child, you can follow the mnemonic of Nemo. You know what is Finding Nemo? There was a cartoon. Okay, so Nemo is nose, ear and mid umbilicus. In children's, you have to see the mnemonic of Nemo. Okay, Nemo means nose, ear and mid umbilicus. This much is clear to you guys? Have I made this much clear? So that we can move on. Next topic that you have is bispectral index, that is BIS. So BIS is used for what? It is used to assess the depth of anesthesia. It is used for the depth of anesthesia. It is used for the depth of anesthesia. Now, where we put the electrodes? We put the electrodes on the frontal side. So, you are having the frontal electrodes. frontal electrodes. Now, what are the parameters you have? 0, then 40 to 60 and 100 and 80. Tell me. 0 is 0 is for what patient? 0 is for comatose patient. So remember O say O. Coma means O. 40 to 60. 40 to 60 is adequate. 40 to 60 is adequate for general anesthesia. 40 to 60 is adequate for your general anesthesia. Now 100 means the person is fully awake. 100 means the person is fully awake, right? And you should be in this range, not in this range right now. Then 80. 80 is used for sedation. 80 is for the sedation, right? 80 is for the sedation. Have I made this much clear, guys? We are done with BIS as well, right? Next thing that you have is neuromuscular monitoring. Now, in the neuromuscular monitoring, tell me what is the most common nerve that is involved. Most common nerve that is involved in your neuromuscular monitoring is ulnar nerve. Is your ulnar nerve. Right. This one is your ulnar nerve. Next. In this, you have TOF. What is TOF? TOF means the train of 4. TOF means the train of 4. Ulnar nerve is the most commonly involved. In TOF, you have the train of 4. So remember what is 4? This one is 1, then 2, 3 and 4. Which muscle is being tested over here, guys? Ulnar nerve is tested. But along with that, the muscle that is tested is your adductor pollicis. Adductor pollicis. Okay. So these are 1, 2, 3 and 4. First one to fourth one. These are what? These are your contractions. These are your contractions, right? These are your contractions. Now, you have two types of block. The block can be of two types. What are the two types? Either it can be a non-depolarizing block or either it can be a depolarizing block. Right? Either it can be a polarizing, either it can be a depolarizing or either it can be a non-depolarizing one. Now, in non-depolarizing one, guys, in the non-depolarizing one, what you are able to see that the waves mainly fade. They are going down, so they fade. And the depolarizing, remember D say D. Die. Die means it has two phases. It has two phases. The first phase and the second phase. In the first phase, what you are able to see? In the first phase, you are able to see that it is same. Everything is same. In the first one, we are able to see that everything is same. Then in the second one, what you are able to see? That it is fading. It is fading. Okay. In the second one, we are able to see, thank you so much, guys. In the second one, we are able to see that it is fading, right? Now tell me, if the TOF is less, so does that mean I am giving the adequate block or not? If I am asking you less TOF, if the TOF is less, this means what? This means what? If the TOF is less, this means what? So if the TOF is less, this means that I am giving a adequate block. I am giving a adequate block. Okay, I am giving a adequate block. Now, this is your Selleck's maneuver and this is your bogey. So remember, they might ask you to identify it. Bogey starts with the letter B. So B means blue color. It is of blue color. It is of blue color. Next, ET tube. This is your ET tube. Is it a cuffed ET tube or is it a non-cuffed ET tube? This one is your cuffed ET tube. This one is your Rose position. Then you have the Larson's maneuver and you have the Heimlich's maneuver. This maneuver is head tilt and chin lift. This one is your jaw thrust. Okay, guys, are you with me? We will revise the entire anesthesia. Just few slides are left. Okay, just few slides are left. Coming on to the inhalational agents. So you have the inhalational agents. In the inhalational agents, and guys, trust me, only the things that I am teaching you, you have to revise that only for your anesthesia. This will be your one-stop solution for anesthesia, I'm telling you. Inhalational agent, the first inhalational agent is, which inhalational agent is cardiostable? So it is ethomidate. So you can remember it with the mnemonic of while going on a date. Keep your heart stable. While going on a date, keep your heart stable, right? Because it is very essential. Otherwise, the girl will think that you are a mad person. So while going on a date, keep your heart stable. Next, renal elderly in obese. Which inhalational agent we use? We use DES. Desflurane. So remember, desflurane has E in its spelling, obese has E in its spelling, elderly has E in its spelling, and renal has E in its spelling. Ethomidate is for the cardiac, and you have to keep your heart stable while going on a date, right? Next, in children, in neuro, asthma, liver, which one is a induction choice? Which one is a choice? So you can remember it. It is sevoflurane. So S, say S. Remember, sevo is sweet and sevo is sab jagah. Sab jagah matlab everywhere. Everywhere except renal. And sevo is sweet. Who are sweet? Children. So small cute little children are sweet. Next, most hepatotoxic, arrhythmogenic, sensitive, and bronchodilators. Which inhalational agent am I talking about? I am talking about H for H. I am talking about halothane. Now, this thing, most potent. So, most potent is halothane. Halothane is most potent. Least potent is what? Least potent is desflurane. So you can remember it with the mnemonic of high SD. High SD. You have to say hi to SD. Okay. You have to say hi to SD means halothane. Then most to least. Halothane. Then what do you have? Isoflurane. Then S means for sevoflurane. And D is for desflurane. So sevo means sab jagah and sweet. Who are sweet? Children are sweet. So sevoflurane are used in children's, right? Chalo, next. Moving on to the IV drugs. Which IV drug is cardiostable and it is used in the cardiac surgeries and is drug of choice in cardiac. It is lagging a lot. Cardiostable is ethomidate. Then drug of choice in asthma, shock, emergency delirium is halothane. Antiemetic. Can we use propofol in daycare surgery? We can use propofol in daycare surgeries. Which one is contraindicated in? Which one is Very good. Propofol. Which one is contraindicated in egg allergy? It is propofol. It is propofol. So you can remember it as egg has protein in it. So propofol means egg and protein wala. Next, tell me guys, which one is contraindicated in porphyria? It is neuroprotective and it is truth serum. And it is truth serum. So it is thiopental. I was just testing you. So you should be confident enough with your answers, right? Even if you are wrong, you should be confident in your life as well. Next, guys, tell me if I ask you in the regional anesthesia, I'm asking you, okay? Tell me which is the most cardiotoxic. Most cardiotoxic. So, in the most cardiotoxic, remember it is bupivacaine. And I'm telling you a mnemonic for it. Remember, you know Bappi Lahiri? So, remember Bappi Lahiri के गाने is cardiotoxic. Okay, Bappi Lahiri के गाने is cardiotoxic. No offense to anyone, but it's just a mnemonic. So, bupivacaine, Bappi Lahiri ke gaane is cardiotoxic. Now, bupivacaine is not given in which block? It is not given in beer block. It is not given in beer block. So, remember B say B. Bupivacaine is not given in beer block. Right. So, what we give? We give lignocaine. We give lignocaine. Next, guys, tell me for cardiac arrest, what we use for cardiac arrest? We use for cardiac arrest. We use epinephrine. Okay, what is the ratio? 1:1,000 ratio. Now I am asking you some of the concentrations of adrenaline. Adrenaline. For anaphylaxis, how much we give? For anaphylaxis, how much we give? Then for cardiac arrest, then okay. For anaphylaxis, what is the ratio? The ratio is 1:1,000. For cardiac arrest is 1:10,000, right? So remember this much. Remember this much. If I ask you which one is most potent and most toxic, most potent and most toxic, what they are trying to say, he is a red flag, but sometimes he behaves like a green flag. Okay, he is a red flag, but sometimes he behaves like a green flag. So he is most potent also and he is most toxic also. So remember, in this you have bupivacaine. Okay, you have bupivacaine. So remember, dono. He is toxic also and he is caring also. He's a green flag also, he's a red flag also. Okay. Now guys, coming on to the muscle relax. In the muscle relaxants, what do you need to know? Okay, we are done with anesthesia. Just the muscle relaxant portion is left. Now, in the muscle relaxant, forget about this slide because we have already read about the ECT and everything, right? That for this we use the ulnar nerve and we have read about the TOF. In TOF you have the ratio, right? TOF means train of 4 and you have to check for the contractions, right? Now guys, listen to me very carefully that if there is increase in the muscle contraction, what does this represent? If there is increased in the muscle contraction, what does this indicate? This indicates that the person is having some sort of rigidity. Okay. Okay. Now, which is the most sensitive muscle if I ask? Most sensitive muscle of your body, that is your that are your eyelids, right? They are most sensitive. Depolarizing one, so remember di. Di means two. Two means succinyl choline. Cardiostable, that you will tell me what is cardiostable. Then you have which one is used for the ECT. It is your succinyl choline only. Cardiostable over here is not ethomidate. Okay, don't try to make that mistake. Over here it is vecuronium. So remember, how you make a V is like how you make a heart. Okay, how you make a V is how you make a V is how you make a heart. Okay. Next, guys, if I ask you that for the ECT is used for your succinyl choline only. Now, tell me, we have read about the TOF, right? So in the TOF, tell me whether the depolarizing one or whether the non-depolarizing one was having two phases. Two phases were there in depolarizing one or the non-depolarizing one. Two phases. Two phases are there in what? It is there in non-depolarizing one has one phase. Depolarizing one has di, two. Okay, so it is your di is two. So it is depolarizing. Very good. Now solve this. Drug of choice for induction is asthmatic patients. For asthmatic patients, what do we use? For asthmatic patients, what do we use? Propofol, thiopentane, ethomidate, or ketamine? D. Very good. So here, over here, we use the ketamine. Over here, we use the ketamine. Next question. I guess we have two more questions and our anesthesia will be done. Second question. Drug causing malignant hyperthermia. Drug causing malignant hyperthermia. Succinyl choline. Very good. Next question. Which inhalational agent has maximum blood gas solubility? So blood gas solubility is partially related to what? It is related to your onset. Okay, it is related to your onset. So onset of halothane is maximum. This was all about anesthesia, guys. We are done with anesthesia. Just do this much in anesthesia, okay? And you are good to go. Just take a A4 size paper, and in that just write down the topics that you are not able to recall, and just try to revise them multiple times, right? We are winding this session. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the session. Bye bye.